Second round, Zach Vanderslice, Jamal Johnson for the amateur 155-pound title.
This is 3 rounds, right?
I believe. Little feeling out process.
Yeah, I got 1 round to none. Johnson.
Moving around, popping some jabs, not much commitment thus far.
Whoa! Shit!
That's a beautiful right.
And he just tried to hit him to the parking lot. Oh, what a knee!
Oh, what a knee! Jamal Johnson, he's definitely hurt from that knee. Jamal Johnson following up with some heavy bombs from the top. Bill Bookwater on top of the action. Let's see if he's going to stop.
By unanimous decision,
It ain't so bad, especially on the way back down.
Yeah, because everyone's going down the shore. You're all like, okay, about this time. Boom, no problem.
Exactly.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Monsoon Live right here on YouTube. Of course, I'm your host, Jeffrey Monsoon Mysick. My guest at this time is a local fighter just down south in the great state of Maryland. This is Jamal Johnson. Jamal, welcome, man. Thank you for coming.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you having me on the show.
I mean, we were just talking about your travels. Tell us a little about your career. What got you into this?
My career, man. I've been doing martial arts on and off since I was like 13. I mean, obviously, everybody starts when they're small, maybe in a little bit of like karate or wrestling or something like that. I did like a couple of karate classes when I was like 7, stopped because I got bored. And for a good while, I wasn't doing anything. Then, when I got back into judo at the age of 13, I was going on and off, but at the same time, I was still enjoying it. It was a hobby. It was something to do, something to stay active with. About the time I hit 18, 19, yeah, that's right when I really wanted to start, my hand in MMA, really started trying to fight. I didn't know too much about MMA when I was in judo from 13 to like the age of 17, but I started hearing about MMA a lot right around when I was 18, and just after watching a couple of fights and seeing all the exposure, it looked pretty good to me. I thought to myself, I can actually try this. Oh, let me get into it a bit. You know what I'm saying? See what I got. I mean, my judo background, of course, I'm more of a I wouldn't say ground based, because judo is a lot of throws. It's a lot of throws, not too much groundwork, but I do have some submissions in my arsenal. But yeah, man, thanks to judo and I guess a long love for martial arts, I've gotten into the MMA world, and I'm thankful for it.
Now, with your background, did you also have any boxing background or anything? Because I know with MMA there's a lot of strikes. Do you have any of that?
Yeah, actually, with my boxing background for MMA, it came as to, at first it was just trying to, I guess, learn how to stay comfortable on my feet for MMA. Take a bunch of boxing classes here and there, spar. Try to take a couple of fights. Really, it was just, boxing was just a use to try and get comfortable on my feet for MMA. But then I started getting really, really heavily doubted into boxing, really learning the craft. But of course, I'm an MMA fighter at heart. But I love boxing. I love using the tool just to, stay on my feet, keep my jab moving, keep some hands in somebody's face, hopefully land some punches on somebody's chin and drop them. But I would say I forayed into boxing specifically for MMA. But, every now and then I sort of dabble into boxing a little bit more. I'm still in the MMA world. I'm never gonna fray away from the MMA world. I love boxing. I love picking up new things and learning. I'm still learning. I'm still a young fighter. I'm gonna continue.
Now I understand you went from being an amateur MMA to start doing pro. Why'd you make that jump?
I made that jump specifically because I think it was about that time. After about 12 MMA fights, and 2 boxing fights, and some jiu-jitsu tournaments here and there, a lot of judo tournaments. I thought it was about time Plus, I'm getting up there in age. I feel like, might as well make a run.
Now, when you look at your career, like up to this point, what would you rather do? I know you said about MMA. If somebody said, "Hey, go fight a pro boxer," would you turn pro boxer and say, "Well, you can't do the MMA"? Would you choose that?
I think I would. I would hit pro boxing a little bit just to dabble and whatnot, get some more fights under my belt. I always love getting as much fights as I possibly can under my belt. At the same time, no, I don't think I would completely put MMA to the side for boxing. I would try to do both.
Mm-hmm. Now, what sacrifices? Because we always get these questions from our fans at home. What sacrifices have you made to get to where you are now in your career?
Man, that's a tough one. What sacrifices? Probably my dating life. That sucks. Right at the moment, my dating life pretty much sucks thanks to. Nah, I can't say that because of MMA. But I need to step my game up. You know what I'm saying? But what is it? I wouldn't say I sacrificed too much. I'm never putting my family behind. I'm never putting mixed martial arts or my craft first before my family or anything like that. But for my friends, I always keep them to the side. But I know how serious I have to be about this, of course. Especially being in the pro circuit now, I really got to jump to it. But as come to sacrifices, I guess a lot of my social life isn't as much as it was because of this stuff. So it's like I don't drink as much, I don't smoke anything like that. So it's like, somewhat of a nerd. You play video games all day, and maybe every now and then I go out, have a beer, sit at the bar by myself in the corner, just and I leave.
How does your family feel about you being an MMA fighter?
Oh man, my family was. I feel like my family was surprised at first when they heard I was taking my first amateur fight in Maryland. They would have never expected it. I mean, they always knew I was into martial arts and all this crazy stuff, but I don't think they ever would have thought I would have tried to step into the ring. But after my second fight, my third fight, my fourth fight, I think they really started to see that I was actually, really into this stuff. Started to catch on. I wasn't letting go anytime soon. Here I am today. And my family, they love it. They support me as much as they possibly can. And I'm grateful for it.
Now, what's next for you in terms of upcoming fights that maybe folks out there can see you?
Upcoming fights. Oh, August 5th, CFFC, Cage Fury. Cage Fighting? Cage Fury? I'm just going to stick with CFFC. Alright? CFFC. Alright, August 5th. Alright, fighting at 145 against BJ Young. Should be a good fight. He's a tough prospect out of New Jersey. I don't really know what his camp is or what gym affiliation he's with, but just like any other fight that I've had in the past, he's a target looking to go forward.
Nice. How are you preparing for this one? Any different training or anything you're doing for that, or just normal?
Just picking up on BJ's record. I would say maybe seeing who he probably has fought in the past and how he has fought. That's really what I'm basing my camp off of. That and what I like to do. I know that, I'm a judoka. I'm a judo practitioner, so obviously I can keep that in my back pocket. When it comes to stand-up, I like to box more, so I'm trying to work on my hands, stay in the boxing gym, keep my jab flowing, keep my footwork nice, so I can get some angles and whatnot, and I stay too stationary so he can wind up taking me down if that's his game. Really just keeping up my conditioning, making sure I can go all 3 rounds, 5 minutes, and stay in there and come out with the win.
Well, I know we're going to be covering your fights, and I was wondering maybe you could show the folks at home maybe a couple of things we had talked about. There's something called an Anaconda Choke.
Anaconda Choke. I love that. Most of my victories actually have come by the guillotine, but as of recently, I started working on the Anaconda Choke. I love it.
Well, I was wondering maybe you could show us both of them and maybe how an MMA fighter could get out of that. There's even a way to get out of it.
Right.
Alright.
I have some of my own special modifications of the guillotine choke. You know, it's just 2 hands wrapped around your neck and I ain't letting go.
Alright, there's gonna be an exclusive coming up next. Alright guys, we are back. Quick program note. As you can tell, we're getting hit with a thunderstorm. Typical weather here in the Philadelphia area. We have a monsoon in here and we have a monsoon going on outside. So 2 monsoons for the price of 1 on today's show. So Jamal's gonna show us how a guillotine choke and his anaconda choke that has me and our producer intrigued. So it's all yours, man. You can coach it.
Well, I've won most of my fights via guillotine. I've usually won it with the no arm guillotine. So basically, I'd say maybe my opponent shot into me or something like that, or maybe he's about to lift me up for a takedown. Get the forearm across the neck, and usually I would grip like this, so that way I have more leverage to crank it upwards as much as I possibly can. All right, and even if he fell to the side, I could still follow and crank it.
Now, is there any way to get out of that, or it's like once you cinch it, it's...
Yeah, I feel like once I cinch that, I mean, both of my hands on his neck, right, I don't even think I'll be able to get out. Just it's over. It's over. Otherwise, I'm going to sleep.
Now, what's this anaconda one that you were telling us?
Anaconda choke. On all fours. All right. So the anaconda choke is a front choke as well. All right. So say in like a snap down position in wrestling or something like that. Get this arm. Get one arm. Tuck it to the side. All right. Now switch my grips from here to here. Somewhat of a rear naked choke position, but from the front. Ooh, like that. There we go. All right, now I would roll like a gator roll and just proceed to roll up on. Finish.
Any way to get out of that one?
That one, I would say just you would try to keep your hips away from me. Initially, when I'm trying to finish the choke, as I have it in, I'm trying to scoop my hips in to alleviate the space between you and my body. But if you keep your hips away, all right, keep circling, possibly get to your knees, and of course, get me off your neck, then you should be all right. But if you let me close that distance and sink in, it's only a matter of time. It's almost like I'm trying to get in fetal position with your neck. Almost like I'm trying to choke you with my entire body. Just squeeze, and you're out.
Now, is there any other chokes, like front chokes? 'Cause I know we've done, besides guillotine, anaconda, any other really, I like to say real cool front chokes?
Cool front chokes, I mean, chokes period that I like.
That you use,
Of course, I love the rear naked choke. Basic and simple. Let me show you.
Yeah, okay.
If you haven't already seen. And so the rear naked choke, obviously, right from the rear, taking somebody's back. Boom. Getting one forearm underneath the neck. Bringing the other hand in. What I like to do is I like to grab the bicep if I can. Alright. Put it behind the back of your head. And then proceed to squeeze.
There we go, Rachel. What is?
Another way to finish the choke.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Again, forearm underneath the neck. Alright. This is the short way to do it. In case you can't get your arm all the way out here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Shorten it up. Palm to palm. Tuck your head. Then proceed to squeeze. Nice and simple. Just come from the back. Bang, bang. Done.
Wow. I know you probably have some supporters out there you want to thank. Thank you for showing us those cool chokes. We can watch you how you do them in action in August. So, is there any family or friends or sponsors you want to say thank you to? I mean, here's your chance. You can thank your friends and family.
Gotcha. Family, friends. If I forget you, I'm sorry. You know I love you all. People who I especially wanna thank, my team, the Marshall Club, out of Baltimore, Maryland. Really a small team trying to make our come up, but from here you got one of your local fighters from Baltimore right here trying to make it happen. Marshall Club all day. My mother, my grandmother, cousins who I fought with in the past as well, on a day-to-day basis. My uncle, man, just everybody. There's too many people to thank, really. People whose cards I fought on before, who I've got my start with in MMA, especially in the Maryland scene. Noel Smith, I want to thank him. People out here in PA, I want to thank my man Mike Bickings. I want to thank people I worked with before also, like Helen Lockerer. Thank you for matching me up on fantastic cards, getting me these fights so I can, show my talents. I'm here to stay, I'm here to make this thing happen, I'm here to be big. So I'm going to give it all I got. Anybody else? Oh my God. I just want to thank everybody. There's too many people to thank. Just, if I've worked with you in the past, sparred with, trained with, in any type of, I don't know, maybe you've gotten me this big and I just haven't given you your shout outs, maybe you gave me a couple of supplements and I'm like, yeah, man, you see these muscles. I want to thank you for the God-given gift of muscles that you gave. I don't know who it is that gave me these muscles, but I thank you. Alright, but yeah, man, too many people to thank. I love this sport. Alright, I love combat sports, period. Boxing, kickboxing, MMA, doesn't matter, jiu-jitsu. Alright, here to stay. Again, Marshall Club, all the way. And again, anybody else whose cards I fought on, who I've trained with, I appreciate you a lot. Love you.
Well, in August, he'll be fighting. Obviously, we'll be covering that. We'll have the updates on our Facebook site. Well, thank you, man, for coming out. This guy traveled a long way, Baltimore area, a little close to Philly, but we thank him for joining us. And guys, that's it for this edition of Monsoon Live. As always, keep it real.
Dude.